Welcome to this week's episode of Meet the Author. This week's episode focuses on how I started my writing journey.
Hello, my
Let's dive
name
in.
is CL Pinto Martinez, the author of the newly released book Autumn's Ballad, a collection of poetry and short stories and photography that I've taken over the years. Um, my my love for writing and reading and everything creative is and can be found in those pages of that book. Um, I have decided to drop a video once a week. So just introduce myself to those of you who are intrigued or interested in my writing and in my work. My cousin kind of threw me under the bus a little while ago, and she basically challenged me. She said, "You need to get out there more. People need to seek you. They need to hear you. They need to know you." And she's right. I've been in marketing for almost 20 years or a little bit over there. And the one thing about marketing is you are your brand. And so whatever you put out into the ether is what you will get back. And so with that in that spirit, um, you will see me mostly dressed like this, um, in my casual, normal, everyday attire. Um, of course, I can dress up when the occasion calls for it, but when I am in my creative mind and I am writing or designing or just doing anything that has to do with my work, then this is how you'll find me in a hat, a sweater, old beat up sweater or whatever. Very laid back. So, and there's a story behind the hat and the sweater and everything I do. The one thing about life is it's filled with these moments that we share with each other, right? That can be fleeting, but those moments are memories, those stories, and those stories can last a lifetime. So for today, I like to talk about how I got my start in writing. Um, and for me, that began in middle school. Sixth grade, I had this wonderful, dynamic English teacher. And for the life of me, I cannot remember her name. But she made a lasting impression on me. Uh, she introduced us to what I always call a freckled book, but it's a speckled book, the me one subject notebooks. And she told us that she wanted us to write a journal. I had never heard of journaling before then. And so she said that she wanted us to once a week write in this journal something that really happened and something that we wish would happen. And so, me always being inquisitive, I asked, "Well, what is it exactly that you want us to write about?" And she would simply say, "Whatever is inside that little brain of yours, put it on paper. I want to see it." So I did. And my first story was about my mom and our little blue library that we would visit every Saturday morning before she got sick. She has since passed away. But um, her and my siblings and I, we would go to this library that was in our neighborhood, not too far from our house, Delma Gardens, which is also where I will actually have my first book reading this weekend, which I am super excited about. But she would bring snacks for the other kids, tea cakes sometimes, and we would either listen to story time by the librarian, and they had puppets and things like that, or she would just simply have us in the corner and she would read to me. She would read to us. She would take us and say, "Okay, here's your section of the world. Find yourself in it." Um, and so that is where my love of reading began, and my love of writing with my mom. My mom was always that person who loved uh, the unknown and mysteries and um, the clever writings of other people. And stories, and she used to tell me stories all the time growing up, and I think that's why. Well, I know that's why I fell in love with storytelling as well. Um, and so that being said, there's a story behind this hat, like I said in the beginning. Um, this hat was given to me by a good friend of mine who is also passed now, who I met in Alexandria, Louisiana, when my daughter and I were in the hospital there. He was a newspaper delivery man, and he would come to the children's ward once a week and deliver newspapers for the parents and the highlight magazine for the kids. And one day he saw me writing on this huge, massive computer I had back then, this laptop. And he said, "Oh, you must be a writer." And I was like, "No, I could never." And he said, "No, you are." And I said, "Well, I write as a way for me to kind of channel my emotions and feel some solace and peace in these difficult, challenging times that I'm facing." And he said to me that he had no doubt that I would be a great writer one day. And so he gave me this hat, and I was like, "What?" And he said to me, "I used to want to be a writer, but I became a newspaper man instead. And that is my place and my purpose in this world." And I just remember thinking of him in awe, like, how amazing is it to find your place and purpose in this world? What was that feel like? And so I wear this hat every time I'm writing, creating, designing, anything like that. I'm wearing this hat. You can find me wearing this hat. um, so each week, like I said, I will give you some background into me, but also at the end, I like to share some free verse or a poem that I've already written. And so today, uh, I want to share something from my book. So, Autumn's Ballads. Let's see. I am going to turn to the first page and just read from it. Okay, so this poem is called Autumn is My Name. I am blessed beyond measure, filled with all the love, peace, and joy promised me. I am worthy of all greatness and grace that is bestowed upon me. I am filled with life, energy, and dare I say, harmony. To know me is to truly behold beauty. Autumn is my name, for I am she. I am dependent upon nothing, yet all depend on me to feed and clothe them, to provide shelter, strength, and even a pharmacy. My herbs and fruits will carry you through when winter comes along to bury you. To know me is to truly realize my value. Autumn is my name, for I am she. Take a stroll in my forest and hear the sounds of laughter as parents and children play and make memories to carry on even after they see my colors fade away slightly. The winds and the rains bid farewell ever so politely. To know me is to witness the end of the very best side of me. Autumn is my name, for I am she. I have risen high above all circumstances that surround me. I have overcome every challenge that has ever been thrown before me. I've cast aside all the care for tomorrow is only filled with sorrow. To know me is to truly see my whimsical identity. Autumn is my name, for I am she. I am beauty personified. I am light glorified. I am love magnified. I am wisdom amplified. To know me is to recognize all of my armory. Autumn is my name, for I am she. That's all for today. Bye bye.
Thank you for joining me for this week's episode of Meet the Author. Let's connect on social. Follow me at official Hey Chay. And be sure to like and subscribe to this YouTube channel to get the latest episodes sent directly to your mailbox. You can also catch this podcast on Spotify, Amazon Music, and iHeartRadio. For the latest events from House of Chay, updated stops on the Autumn's Ballad Tour, and opportunities to meet me in person, visit heyshay.com. And remember, as Barbara Johnson once said, don't let your life speed out of control. Live intentionally. Do something today that will last beyond your lifetime.